Hello everyone, my name is Mingshen Jian. I come from Taiwan National Formosa University. Today, I would like to introduce the cloud computing, the famous computing technology on the world. What is the cloud computing today? It is very difficult for us to define. Currently, the service provided by cloud computing are also the service based on the Internet. It is similar to the traditional Internet service, such as web service or server-client connection. However, the traditional Internet service provide the service content according to the designer or provider. Client users or customers cannot choose or select the service content they really require. Today, the cloud computing environment provides the chance to the end users. Only the on-demand required services will be integrated and provided to the end users. The requirements are given on demand by the end users. So, what can be required by the end users or customers? The cloud environment provides the computing resource for operation or computing. Even the end users can upload the files and storage in the cloud space. The environment is similar to the traditional physical computer for any user. Instead of the physical computer at the local site, the customers can obtain the cloud computing resource from the remote cloud computing server. In other words, the local physical computer needn't equate huge computing resource. In the past, the computing science researchers already implemented the parallel processing and distributed system. The computer in the past cannot provide high-performance computing. Hence, the scientists try to divide the original heavy workload or complexities into many smaller partitions. Based on the network, many computers can be clustered as a computing group. Then, these smaller partitions of the heavy workload can be distributed into different physical computers of the computing group. The individual computer needn't to work or execute the whole computing job. In other words, only the smaller computing job should be managed. Since the computing workload is smaller than before, instead of the heavy workload, the computer can spend less time to obtain the computing result. In addition, these smaller computing jobs are parallel processed on the distributed computers. Then all computing results will be merged as one result. The computing performance can be increased by parallel processing and distributed system. The user can obtain more computing abilities and use the idle computing resource. By integrating many computers can obtain the performance almost the same as the supercomputer. For example, in the past, the biological computing depends on this type of computing. In the past, the client or remote users can only obtain the given web services from this server. The server is established at a remote location with the specific applications or software. The client users cannot decide or select the customized services. Now, the cloud computing users can use any device to connect to the cloud server. In addition, the required computing resources, such as CPU speed, memory size, hard disk space, can be on demand given to the cloud server. Any resource, any service, anytime, everywhere, user can gain or obtain the services or data by using any devices. Now, the Internet is almost everywhere today. Anyone almost can connect to the Internet anytime. Since there are many small or handheld devices which can connect to the Internet, the network-based service environment in cloud computing is available now. Different networks, such as phone networks, corporate networks, campus network, in-car network, home network, so many different type of networks can obtain the huge computing resource or services from the remote cloud computing service. So we say connecting to the network connects to the cloud. Hence, today the cloud can be defined as a system in which hardware or software components located at networked computers communicate and coordinate their actions only by message passing. To describe the cloud computing ability, we can say a distributed system is a collection of independent computers that appear to the users of the system as one or a single computer. So, the most good for the definition to the cloud server or cloud computing will be cloud computing is the web-based processing whereby share resources, software, and information are provided to computers and other devices, such as smartphones, on demand over the Internet. It is clearly presented that the cloud computing is the network-based computing. The computing resource provided from the cloud platform should be shared with other users. In addition, the user can obtain the cloud service by using any possible device which can connect to the Internet. Since the remote users can obtain the service as they request, the cloud service can be dynamic and various. So, it is similar to the blind man feels an elephant. You can describe your cloud computing by any definition. People cannot easily describe the cloud service and cloud computing because any service can be established by cloud corresponding to the requirements from different users. Here, we give the short summary. In the past, the computer science researchers already proposed the cluster computing by integrating and connecting the homogeneous type of physical computers. The idle computing resource can be used for the cloud computing or job computing. To deliver the workload to different physical computers, the distributed computing or distributed system divides one huge computing job into partitions, then integrate all computing reports as one result. Considering the improvement of the physical computers, the heterogeneous type of physical computer should be able to connect it as one computing group similar to the cluster computing. In heterogeneous type computing, we call grid computing. Based on cloud computing, access anytime, anywhere, any device for anyone is possible. Even we need to manage the big data. The cloud computing based on the concept of the distributed computing and the parallel processing can deal with the data with higher performance. Moreover, the cloud computing can provide the cross-platform service for computing and the remote users. Hence, according to the National Institute of Standards and Technology in the United States, the characteristics of cloud computing are on-demand self-service, broad network access, resource pooling, rapid elasticity, and major service.